recording. Alrighty. So, guys, hello. So, for people that are new, hello, hello, hello. I am Heather Brooks. I have been one of your little fearless leaders, one of your co-founders here at the Seniors Network for the last 7 years. And I love it. It's one of my favorite little things, and I do it from my heart. If you are going to be at EXPCon, I'm very excited to see you. We are going to be hosting our own little party for EXP Seniors Network, so we'll get more information out to you guys. I will be doing some more talk about that as we come closer. Some of you, I'm just going to go through some housekeeping. Some of you were asking about the CRM. I met last week, I believe, or the week before. I met the guy in person. I met one of the guys from that CRM. There is, and I don't know if it's an EXP thing, you guys, but there's no way for them to be able to track that. With that being said, I'm going to let you guys do something together, if you know what I mean, and you're in the same area. I don't know, but I think that there's a workaround around it, but I don't know how to do that. Maybe we can talk at some other point. I'm not sure. Okay. So that being said, we'll just talk another time. So we talked about that. That was part of the housekeeping about the CRM. Okay. I did drop a bunch of PDFs, or 3 PDFs, I should say. One of them just kind of is our basic, like what we're going to do tonight. And then there's a call, like 2 other things, and that will go over. However, I put it in the chat box. So if you guys ever need anything, somebody in the chat box will be dropping it for you while I'm teaching the class. I'm a one woman show. I have been for several years. So welcome. If any of you want to join EXP Seniors Network, I encourage you to help me. All right. So with Rochelle's helping me out here. I thank you so much, Rochelle. Let's go into me sharing my screen so we can kind of get started in what I was saying. One of the things I want to talk to you about is, I don't know if you can see this. Okay. Can you guys see that where it says trust before pitch and it says persuasion? Here, you know what? I'm just going to copy and paste it. Hold on, I got a better idea. I'm just going to copy and paste it into, just give me 1 second. And the reason why I'm just going to do this is because I want you guys to really see this. And this, one of the things that I talk every single week to you guys about is the sandwich shop and the secret sauce, right? And then I talk about your sphere of influence and how there you're all fixins within it. And so I thought tonight I'd do something totally different with you. Something I want to teach you guys tonight how to deal with and directly target the senior homeowners. I've always talked about the sphere of influence and how to put the sandwich shop together. Okay. I helped you build your sandwich shop in your community. Now it's time to serve your sandwich shop. Does that make sense? For those of that's been here near? Okay. We are about to serve up what we got in our sandwich shop, okay? So I want you to understand that when we serve with our hand up and not out. We've always talked about that. We're not salesy. When you deal with seniors and when you deal with their families, they don't want to be sold to. If you looked at the past classes, Dr. Robert Cialdini, he is the influencer of, I love this, of psychology of buying and selling, of sales. This man has studied, well, he's a psychologist on his background, but he was fascinated. He actually happens to be from my alma mater, and I want to meet him one day. I really do. But basically what he says is, I've always felt this way. If you serve with your hand up and not out, it's a much better feeling, both for you and you look better in your community. And he actually has proven in the psychology of it, the more you serve with your hand up by helping people, rather than out by asking for the sale of something or whatever it is, people feel indebted to you for serving them in a way you never thought you did. So I'm flipping the script on you guys today. And so we are going to talk about persuasion, okay? Because he talks about the persuasion of marketing. And this is all about the persuasion of marketing. How you are going to show up in your community marketing and how you're going to connect with the homeowners and your conversations you're going to have with them. You're going to talk about your menu and how you're going to serve. You're going to be warm. You're going to be credible. You're going to have content that backs it up. That's what I teach you guys every time you walk in, like every time you come to this class. Then the second part is I'm going to show you that lunch rush, how you on social media can show proof to this, with your sphere of influence to seniors and their families. Okay. Think about that. How are you going to show up and answer the questions, and what are you going to say to them, and I'm going to put you right in front of them in this lesson. And then we're going to talk about the toppings. These are things that you have to offer. I don't care how big the company is. I don't care if it's whatever business you are in. If you serve this way, I wholeheartedly believe this, it's a gold mine, because nobody serves this way, especially the older demographics who are so easily taken advantage of. It's horrible, but they are like everything. It could be poof, gone in a second. Their homes are their biggest assets. It's your job as you showing up. How can I help you? What can I do to either help you stay here or help you move? That's your job. Going in there without selling yourself. Okay. So now that I prepped you up and rawed you, I'm deleting this. I don't need it. And I prepped you guys up and rawed you. If you do not, by the way, have these, please understand somebody will put it in the chat box for me. Okay. Now I'm going to start off with, let's talk about how to win over senior homeowners with your marketing skills, because I love the marketing side. We know that we are the most amazing marketing people. We know how to target market. We know how to get in front of, we know what to say. We know how to show up on camera. If you don't know how to show up on camera, I've talked about it and I do classes on that too. But I'm going to give you actually little bits and pieces. These are the plug and plays, and we're going to go over the plug and plays after. Okay. So give me 1 second. Did I just do that? I did. No. Here, the intro. Okay. When you go into, and I don't care if it's your sphere of influence or it's the seniors or it's the family or whatever it is, when you show up, Heather, I'm showing up and I want to go in to help somebody. I am going to go in as an intro, not of like, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I already told you guys that doesn't work. It's a bad rap. We have a lot of cheesy agents out there. It does nothing to do with real estate. It has nothing to do with aging in place. It has everything to do with how you can help somebody. And if you can somehow relate to them in the first, I would say, few minutes. Personally, I'm a 30-second person, but if you can relate to them within the first 2 minutes, you can kind of hook them. That's your whole point of hooking them. You need to get a quick story. Either it's got to be personal, it's got to be somebody in the neighborhood, and they might end up knowing them. It's great if they do. That's even better, because that's the perfect connection in. But here is your rule. Okay, ground rules. We've got ground rules on this. This is not about selling. I tell you guys all that all the time. It's about serving. Hand up, not out. How can I serve you? What can I do for you? Right? Here's going to be your core principles. When we talk about our sandwich shop, your sandwich shop is that sandwich shop that everybody wants to go to. If you've built your sandwich shop correctly with all the talk that we've talked about, We're going to go over it in a few minutes or like through this slide. But I just want to say you can already build that trust and respect just by the people that you know as your secret sauce, meaning your sphere of influence and your fixins. Your secret sauce is really you and how you're going to put it all together. But I'm showing you when you walk in, when you get in front of a senior homeowner, their family, I don't care, even if it's your sphere of influence, your principles are going to be with your hand up. You're going to build trust and respect with them. You're going to be consistent, whether it's meetings that you're going to within your community that's in the aging sector. I don't care what it is, but you are going to build that trust and respect because that is what's going to end up. And I told you on those three things, that's going to keep coming around to you. I promise you. When you, and Cialdini, I think, says this is if you prioritize somebody else's like needs and goals, meaning like you have the free checklist and you're showing up and you know already the way it's going to go down. I got my right sizing person. I got the trust attorney. What do you need? You need a home healthcare company? No problem. No problem. People will always remember you for the little things that you do or the information that you're giving them. It may not be at the time that they need them, but I can assure you it will be in the back of their mind and they will know where to come. If you consistently show up by supporting somebody's dignity and their comfort of wanting to be at home and their independence and helping them any way you can, that's great. But I'm going to tell you, and I tell you this every single time, you guys, if you haven't been watching statistics, if you aren't big onto like graphs and what's going on in our nation's housing infrastructure, plus the fall statistics on those over 65, it's really shitty. So I'm just going to give you the two. Ready? Nation's housing infrastructure, less than 5%. Less than 5% of our entire nation's housing infrastructure can actually accommodate somebody with a mobility issue. Walker, wheelchair, cane, low visibility, whatever it is, cannot accommodate them. Okay, let's look over here. I'm just telling you the falls because I'm giving you the two together side by side. And then you have the falls. 1 in 4 older adults over the age of 65 take a fall, slip or fall, and more than half of them end up in their house because it's either stairs, low lighting. There's several of them. But the point is it's a mismatch. That's where you guys come in. They're gonna end up being either forced to sell their home because they didn't modify it. And now all of a sudden a slip or a fall came and they're gonna have to move because that's their biggest asset and it's financial. And that's where it's either gonna go to assisted living, or it could be that they're just gonna go to a 55 living that has better, like something that's newer, something that's smaller, and they're right sizing. But the point is if they don't have the information of all that stuff that's out there, you're not helping them with their needs and their goals. They don't realize they have a goal until something happens. But if you show up before that thing happens, they already know you're there before it does, and then after it does. So you want to be respectful. Well, I'm going to get, as we're going on, that goes under their needs and goals. Let's go into targeting. And when you're targeting them in a marketing way, you're going to be respectful. You're not going to sell. You're going to be hand up, not out. You're going to lead, educating, not pitching, and use things that you know that they're on. I'm telling you, it's not worth spending time, energy, and money on things that aren't going to go that way. It's a waste of time. I'm telling you right now. Don't even bother. You want to highlight options. You want to feature the problem, okay? Think about this. You want to feature the sandwich. Oh, look at this beautiful, gorgeous sandwich. But I want you to highlight all the fixins that can go on that sandwich. The safety, the simplicity, the options that can go on that sandwich. So pretend that we're talking about maybe they're looking to right size, but they don't know what to do. Are they going to move into 55 living? Are they going to move into this? Are they going to move into that? If you have videos that are already on all of the simplicities of what each place has to offer, they don't have to go anywhere. They can just watch your videos and be like, I like that. You already gave them the secret sauce because you tickled them with this living community here. You tickled them with the 55 community here. You gave them a little sauce over here. You dripped the sauce, I should say. But the point is that you're targeting and being respectful in marketing. But by highlighting the problems and everything, that's the best part because that's where you bring in your sphere of influence. They're the ones who are your fix-ins. They're the ones who's your secret sauce, who you're going to make your secret sauce when you go to serve that sandwich. You want to maintain, not just, and I don't mean the long-term relationships on the follow-up of that sale. I also mean on your resources that happened within the sale or the people that are within your life. Keep connecting with them because that reciprocity, like Dr. Childani says, just keeps coming around and it's like a hamster wheel and it's great because whoever in that little circle that you pulled in feels indebted to you. You didn't take anything from them. You just gave options. And that's how that works. I always, when I walk into, I shouldn't say always, I should get out of the word always. When I walk into an older adult home, when I walk into a senior's home, and I've said this many of times over the years to you guys, I never will say to them, like, I'll never talk about like selling or like stupid things. I will go right down to the point of like, what is working for you here? Or why would you want to move? Like I would look around. I already know what doesn't work for them. But the point of it is get down to their level. You, most people are there out of hope. I hope it's going to work for me. I hope that I can find services if an emergency happens. I'm going to tell you my career, 15 years or so. It's a crisis. And everybody that I typically work, like in the industry that I work with, doesn't matter, OT, PT, people that are educators, they'll tell you it happens in a crisis, most of us. And I hate the fact that people just hope that things will work out when the crisis happens. But that's not a plan. A plan needs to be in place. Like that's the whole point. So and that's where this comes in, guys, okay? Honestly. Hold on. So that's where and I'm going to go back to this 30-90 day. Okay. Please don't get there yet. Okay. That's why I say there needs to be a plan. What do I mean by a plan? Okay. Well, your plan is your sphere of influence. That's just part of your plan. I mean, this is just 10. Okay. And I'm just using this for reference. Let's talk about serving up that sandwich. Remember, I told you now we're serving our senior sector and our homeowners and people that are aging in our area. It is now your plan to show up with all the different sandwiches that you have to offer people. I'm going to sprinkle a roast beef on rye with a little bit of turkey, which means it's like whatever you want to call it, an elder law attorney and a financial planner that I need to get involved with this family. And they may not be ready to leave now, but at least they're getting things in place. Guess what? That elder law attorney and that financial planner that you just helped with your client that needs to just get stuff in place, but they're not moving. They're not going anywhere. They're staying there for the next 20 years. But I'll tell you that elder law attorney and that financial planner's got people. And because your client used them, even though they're not leaving for another 20 years, it's going to happen. you'll see, they're going to feel indebted to you because there goes the Chaldani method. Does. You just served me without asking for anything, without needing anything. I've always, I was raised this way, so I don't know any different. I only know how to teach it. I always called myself, and I've said this many times with you guys, I always felt myself as like the matchmaker for aging services because I always felt like, oh, I know what you need. I got a person for you. That's your job to show up with providers and with people that you can market so people know what you're doing, right? And that's your network, that's your database, that's your sphere of influence. You don't have to go personal now. You can go out to people within your community that you like, know, and trust. Those are the three things I tell you also all the time. But these are just 10 of those providers: financial planner, right sizing, decluttering specialist, home mods, occupational PT, which is physical therapists, senior move managers. You can go home health agencies, non-medical companion or care companions. They're all in your areas. What's working for my area here in Broward County may not be working for Miami-Dade. It may not be working for, Naples. It may not be working for, whatever it is. And it's definitely not going to work for California or Texas or anything else. It is your job to find out who in your area can help people with this stuff. Community center directors, senior activity coordinators. Oh my God, goldmine. They're your partners for sphere of influence. You take your sphere of influence and the people they already have there. Man, oh man, your secret shop, your sandwich shop just exploded with secret sauce all over it. Because you just took all of your peeps on this list, put them in a room to like debut all of their services, and you brought in all the seniors from their center. Gold mine. And I don't mean financially. Don't mean financially. Please don't take that financially. Gold mine in the connections of serving with your hand up and not out. Local pharmacists, I love this one because I have had, he's now retired, that I grew up with, a pharmacist. Man, oh man, I loved him because they're the ones who work with seniors directly about all their meds and everything else. And so like when something goes wrong with one of your clients, you could just say, oh, go to my local pharmacist, blah, 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 blah. He's a great guy. And then that pharmacist, anytime somebody comes in and starts saying something about needing like a home modification because they come to their pharmacist or they talk about they need me to come get a walker or a wheelchair and they go to the pharmacy to get them because that's where you get that stuff. They will quite often say, oh, I have somebody that does modifications, or I have somebody that could do this for you. It's a great place. All right. Now, before I get to the 30, 60, 90 day, let's go to those 10 providers and let's go seeking outwards back to the shop. You've opened your doors, right? So now we've opened our sandwich shop doors. I've always told you how to serve up your sandwich. Let's talk about opening the doors now to the public. I need you to keep it as simple as possible. Remember, it's not about selling, it's about your hand up and your services. You're not a salesperson. You're going to show up as the matchmaker for your community. I am blessing you as a matchmaker for your communities. You're going to lead with, how can I connect your business with my clients? You see how that's better? Way better than like, how can we help each other out? Or, what can you do for me? Or whatever it is. How can I connect your business with my clients? I'm going to make it bigger so you guys can see it, hopefully. Oops, there you go. Right? Think about how you show up, not as a salesperson. Think about, and I talk about this, how, why, where, when to show up. You need to keep it simple. You're going to show up as the connector. It is your job to get those people in place to put in your sandwich shop that you should already have in place because we've gone through it many of times. You could go watch videos. But anyways, the bottom line is now you start sharing that with your community, co-host small events, go back to that senior center, put those people together, show them up, show them why you're the connector, why you've got the sandwich shop, why you're the secret sauce to the community for seniors and their families when something goes down or a crisis happens, because it 1 in 4, 1 in 4, and less than 5% of our nation's housing units. 8 years I've been speaking about this on stages, you guys, at the National Builders Associate, at the International Builders Associate. I scream it. Nobody listens. But when you talk about why, that sphere of influence is important. It's a trust exchange. It goes back to we all, and it's not just seniors, it's everybody on this call. We want to work with people that we like, know, and trust. And that's what it comes down to. So if you are the person that people see as the face and they like, know, and trust you because you're the influencer, right? Now I just coined you guys as influencers, but they like, know, and trust you. Those providers that you're going to be giving people, you better like, know, and trust them too. Because now that you're the influence in your community and you've opened your shop doors, you've got 3 providers. You've got 3 different types of turkey. If one of those turkeys goes bad and has a recall, your ass better have something else in place. Think about that. You need to like, know, and trust those providers and services that you are sending to people when you open your sandwich shop. That trust exchange is first and foremost of what somebody is. And it's not just the seniors and their families that's going to bring them in your door, but it's the sphere of influence that's going to stay in your shop and want to do business with you. That's why. All right. Where? We talk about, where are you meeting older adults? Where are you meeting your sphere of influence? But I'm going to go to older adults because that's what we're talking about, the senior clients and their families. Okay, that's important. You got to meet them in their world. So, one of the things I thought that was very interesting, hold on, I'm just going to take a little sip, but I was listening to a podcast with Chaldani, and one of the things that he said is that if you show up in where people least expect you, that's the best part, because that's where nobody's being seen, right? Think about that. That's pretty intense. Now remember, this man is a doctor of psychology and then decided, like, I wonder what influences people to buy, sell, and do business with people. It comes to this, which is something I have been born with and I've been raised with, and I don't know anything else. My grandmother, my grandparents, my parents, they're the same way. I don't know any differently. It's the way that I was raised, where you are like that matchmaker. If you know people, you help people out without asking for something. It's just the way I've been raised. And we need to get back to that, because that's what people want to do business with. It's not a big company. It's a cancel culture right now, if you guys haven't noticed. And social media is the biggest component to that right now. All right. So when do you show up? Dang it, you show up all the time. I don't care. You need to be consistent. That's it. Bottom line, you need to be consistent. All right. So when we go back to my secret sauce, and I'm going to go back to 30, 60, 90 days and then some call to actions and stuff. But here's the bottom line. When we talk about our secret sauce, it's our sandwich shop. I've constantly said that to you guys. They win. Now I'm telling you, hand up, not out, but they win. Your sphere of influence, whoever they are that you're bringing into your sandwich shop, are going to win. And that's how you're going to get your referrals. Everybody's going to be visible and want to send them to your shop. You win each and every time if people like, know, and trust that sphere of influence. You're going to be that go-to connector. And when I say referrals come in, it's going to be referrals from every person that you're constantly referring out, and they're going to keep referring in. clients will be funneled back to you. It's going to be natural because you're serving with your heart and you're telling people that they have options. Oh, I have three trust attorneys because we went through a trust attorney thing and about probate and everything else last time, one time. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It's not a one size fits all. So just because Joe Schmo might be good for one person, Joe Schmuck might be better for that person. You might not like Joe Schmuck, but he might actually work for somebody that you never thought would happen. So I'm just saying you need those options, but you better like, know, and trust them, even though that guy's a schmuck. You better like, know, and trust him, and he better be like trustworthy, even though he's an asshole. I'm good with that. As long as the job gets done and he's trustworthy and people know he's like one of those no nonsense people. A lot of people like that. People need hand holding. Then find an attorney that can handhold. But you gotta have options. And you gotta like, know, and trust them. And it's gotta be in the long game. You gotta think that these people that you're referring people to, trust attorney, whatever it is, they're gonna be there. They're gonna still be there in 6 months, a year, 5 years, 12 years, 20 years, because those people have been in their homes for 40 years. Just think about that. Okay? All right. So, all right, that was one. Now I can go back to 30, 60, 90. This was this. Before I go to 30, 60, 90, because that will lead into this. How to win over senior homeowners with your marketing skills. Let's talk about plug and plays. You know that every single time that we have these classes, I give you plug and plays to go do. Whether it's social media, whether it's emails, whether it's notes, I don't care. I give everybody something to do that they can take right after they leave me to go do somewhere. So take advantage of it. It's free. Go do with what you want. I always do my plug and plays with no selling. And it's always being real and it's always being who you are and how you're going to show up. And you plug in your little bits and information and then you play it out, okay? However you choose to do it in the way you're comfortable with. So let's talk about a coffee chat post. Let's just like here we are, either in person, whatever it is, social media. If I were on social media, here's how if I would do it, I would say, home really is where the heart is, isn't it? Because you got to play into it. Hold on, I'll do it all over from the beginning and I'll act it out. I'll say, home really is where the heart is, isn't it? You know, a neighbor recently shared that she's been in her home for over 40 years, and what an incredible story it was. It actually made me wonder, how long have you been in your home, and what's the memory that makes it so special for you? Do you guys hear what just happened? You want to pull it back as a call to action? I'd love to hear your story about your fondest memory in the home. Think about that. I've given you tons of call to actions of how they can get you to your website. This is not that. This is like, follow, share for more. You want engagement. This is engagement for your people that you're trying to sell to. Let's talk about handwritten notes. I'm not an email person when it comes to older adults. Yes, families, and when you're dealing with a lot of people, yes, but when you're dealing with seniors, I am all about little handwritten notes. It is so important. It is so loving. If I get handwritten notes from people, I actually keep some because it's important to me. If you walk in your neighborhood, this is the most perfect thing to write. And it's something you can say, every time I see your home, every time I walk in our neighborhood, I notice the care and pride you've put into it over the years. That doesn't happen by accident. It's the sign of a life well lived inside those walls. If you ever want to talk about simple ways to keep your home comfortable, safe, or just a little easier to manage, I know some wonderful community resources, and I'd be glad to share them with you. You can even, rather than put that, because I personally think it's a little cheesy. Some of you guys may not. It's not a one size fits all, but I wouldn't say if you ever want to talk about simple ways to keep your home comfortable, safe, I would say if you ever need anything in the, with aging services, I'm here to help you. I just would love to stop by just to say hi. I don't want to be a stranger. And I would just leave it at that. They're going to see you walking by. And then when you see them, I sent you a little note. I'm the person that sent you the note. These are the flowers I love. Tell me about those flowers. Do you guys see what I just did to you guys? Do you see what I did to you guys? Do you see where the heart is? We all know that home is really where the heart is. So now that I've written them a hand note, I walked by their house. I now saw them. I now say, oh my gosh, I'm the one that wrote you that note. This is what I notice about you taking pride and care because now you've just owned it personally. You've upped your game better than that. And you're like, oh my God, show me, talk to me about this. You have no idea how bad they want to talk to you. Just a little handwritten note and you walking by. You don't have to be cheesy. I wouldn't even write the second half, but I put it in there because I don't know where some of you guys are at. Some of you guys may like it, may not. I try to cater to all personalities here because we do have many. Let's talk about social media posts. So I am an aging in place specialist. I have been for many years. I do grab bars. I've done all stuff. I've done stuff with showers. When I say I, not me personally, but contractors and people that I work with. The bottom line is that when I highlight things like this, or I highlight things that I see in a home as I'm walking through them, and it seems to be like the perfect one-story home that has the perfect multi-generational living, I would say things like this, or I would push it towards this, or I would say something if I just did a home, I would say sometimes the smallest updates to a home make the biggest difference. One of my favorites, brighter lighting in hallways and kitchens. It's such a simple fix, but it makes daily life easy, safer, and more comfortable. What's a little change you've made around your home that makes a big impact? Share your ideas on what you've done. I'd love to hear about it. You just talked about lighting. You could talk about grab bars. You could talk about walk-in showers. Whatever it is, boom, right there. You could go to a open house and or if the agent lets you, or if you have a home and highlight it, boom, right there. You've now tailored it to this demographics without selling it. All right. The next one, whoops, is the conversation starter because it's really hard for a lot of you guys to be able to talk to seniors or to people about the future of homes. And I know it's a sticking point for a lot of people, especially senior homeowners or adult children that are dealing with their parents. And the reason why I say that is because nobody likes change. None of us. I don't care how old you guys are. We don't like change. And then to throw a move in on it, that's like so much. So again, when we started this class, I said to you guys, what's working for you here? Because you really got to get to the underlying part of the force of the move and how you can show up with your sandwich shop and secret sauce and all your peeps to help it get like secret sauce and slide right in there. Your job is to bring that sauce and to just slather it on so it makes it easier. You want to keep the questions, you want to keep the doors open. You don't want to close them. Again, not with selling with your hand up and walking into the home and trying to figure out what the home's worth and then slapping them with, well, here's the comps, here's this, here's that. No, get to know them. get to know their family, get to know everything about it. Maybe they don't want to move. Maybe they're just testing shit out. I don't know. Whatever it is, find their weak spot and help them with it. Whether it's bringing in people or whether it's selling and moving them to an assisted living community that you've got ties to. By the way, wouldn't it be great if I know that you're not only selling my home, but I know that that assisted living community over there, you're very good friends with them. I know I'm going to see you there. That feels like home to me. That still continues to make me feel like family planning and love and respect are at the center of my life that's being turned upside down. Psychology, you guys, that's the psychology of what your client and their families are going through. All right, let's talk about the community invite. Remember, I was talking about those social community centers, the senior centers. If you've got a church, whatever it is, if you've got people and places that you love, go put that out there and put together your peeps from your sandwich shop to put on a little workshop. Do a short little talk, or maybe you're showing up with a short little talk. Make it nothing fancy. You just want it to be about the community. Put this on nextdoor.com, on your community websites, Facebook community chats, whatever you've got going on where you place community stuff, that's where you want. It's where people are going to connect and swap ideas and be like, oh, I never thought about that. Oh, I needed this. Oh, I never met you. Oh, you live there. You're just the community connector. But guess what? People are like, oh, I know you. You just put on that community event. Oh, that's right. You asked that person what's working for them. You didn't want to sell them their house. Think about the questions that are going to open up doors for you, not close them, right? Think about how you're going to show up in your community. And I don't mean just to your sphere, because that's not what tonight was about. It's to the seniors and to the people in your community that are aging. Because you know statistically the home cannot age in place with them safely, and that falls are a major statistic. I could go on when it comes to financials. I could go on when it comes to the amount of wealth that the older demographic has, or I don't know, that the biggest spenders of the GDP could be that too, but that they own their homes outright, most of them, because they paid them off. So I tell you to serve with your hand up because they are the most targeted demographics when it comes to shady shit, people taking things from them, like losing everything that they own, which is their entire house. Older adults weren't, or the much older generation, they're not into investing into certain things. They've got homes and they're paid off. And people, it's very easy for contractors to come in and for other people to come in and take advantage of them. And it's horrible. Why not protect them? Do what you do best. Show them the people in your sandwich shop of what you have to offer them. You know, that's how I've served, and that's how I teach you guys. All right. So is this no. All right, hold on. Oh yes, here we go. I want you guys to do a 30, 60, 90. Oops. I got to move you guys over. I want you guys to do a 30, 60, 90 kind of thing. I want you guys to start building presence and awareness to the seniors and to the homeowners in your area, to the people. I want you to start making educational posts. Facebook, LinkedIn. I want you to talk about the top tips of staying comfortable at your home, or if it's no longer comfortable. I want you to think about if you are going to be able to host something, a workshop, then you need to attend a workshop. or something, a networking group, but start building your presence. The next 30 days, that's your job. Okay? Your job is to focus on making that stuff happen, taking plug and plays and starting to do stuff on social media, emails, I don't care. And when we put on our Facebook group, hey, what did you do? Tell people what you did. Because let me tell you, copying each other is flattery. It really is. I mean, it would be great if we all got notificate like people like gave us like, hey, my friend so and so told me about this and I'm telling you. But bottom line is it's flattery because it means it's working. It means people are looking. 60 days. Okay? Plug and plays, make them come on, start going. That's when your call to actions need to start coming in. That's where you're going your free checklist. That's when you're going with your guides. That's where you're giving them those call to actions and you're grabbing that information and you're starting the conversations on social media with them. You're saying, hey, by the way, let's talk. Oh, who do you need? I'll bring them in. And then you do a video with them. That's where you're giving in the video. Your next converting relationships and referrals, I say those handwritten follow-ups are a big thing. I also like the handwrittens when you don't know somebody, but you know that your services could be of value. I love the handwritten stuff. But that's where you start. That's where you can launch a newsletter, print, email, whatever it is. I don't care. But the bottom line is hand up, not out. Be the person that people like, know, and trust. Know that that them hoping that when that crisis happens in their home and that they haven't planned for it, that's not going to be their strategy. You're going to be their only strategy with your people. Every time you're going to be consistent and steady with showing up and educating, again, it goes back to Chaldani. People want to keep coming to you. It's about friendship. It's about people feeling indebted to you because you did something for them. And by the way, you didn't really do anything for them. You just showed up at the right place and the right time with the right people. However, we behind the scenes have been working very hard on that. They don't have to know that. You guys already did it. You know, I mean, that's how I look at things. And that's my, that's the way I kind of look at this and how you can win that's those people over or that demographics over. And by showing up, you have to make them feel like everything's going to be a-okay. Okay. Just say okay. Like I got people for you. Don't worry. You just call them up. I hear you. I don't know how to, I know how to help you with people, but I personally don't have the exact answers, but I got the people who have the answers for you. That's the problem that we're missing. So if you look back historically, when we bought our homes, we bought our homes with people that people like knew and trusted in the neighborhood that could help us with our kids, doctors, flip the script, coach it, like when their kids were coaches, principals, PTA, that was then. And now we're just much older. I mean, not much older. I don't mean much older. We're just living the second half of life. But the point of this being is that it's all about trusting people before you pitch to them. You got to lead with trust, not an offer. Because that's not what people like, and that's not what people want. And that's anybody else, any of us on this call don't want to show up that way anymore. We're not salesy. We're in business because this is who we are. But when you show the lunch rush, because this senior sector and their families are a rush, nobody's marketing to this. Nobody's helping this demographics. It is a lost art. If you haven't been seeing what I've been showing you, I have 170,000 views on videos, 200,000 views on videos, because people don't know how to show up for a lunch crowd rush because nobody's showing up. Zero. People will believe when crowd like when the reviews and the crowds come in, they don't want perfect. I sat in my garage talking about right sizing and all the crap in your parents' house. It was like 90,000 views in my garage, by the way, ponytail up. Like I was like in bed and I couldn't think, and it was 2 a.m. in the morning, and I was just frustrated because I had stuff on my mind. I did a video. Who would have ever thunk? It's not about how you show up. It's about the information that they need, and nobody's giving it to them. But the thing is, we're master marketers, we're master community connectors. Use it to your advantage for a different sector. That's all you got to do is show up that way. I feel like I say you got to sell, you got to frame in on what they're losing and then invite them for their advice, if that makes sense. Yes, if somebody can keep putting the PDFs in there, because I did put PDFs in there. Did I put a 30, 60, 90 PDF in there? I think I did. No? Oh, I'm going to do that right now, you guys. Let me see. This is it.
I don't,
Oh,
I don't
I
think
got
you put, I don't think you put in the little, uh, what you're going to say to your neighbors either in there.
Okay, I'm just gonna put all three of these things in, and you guys can tell me if that was all of it. I'm hoping. Is that all of it? I'm hoping. Did I miss something? Did I miss something, anybody?
Well, all I can see is the 30, 60, 90 is not in there. I saw
Really?
3 different ones that
Do you guys see 30, 60, 90 in there?
no,
No? Oh my
no.
God, that is the weirdest thing because I like have it in, and oh, that is so weird. Okay.
It's weird
Wow.
because it looks like you tried to post three different things, but it looks like we got the same thing.
Oh my God, here, 30. Hold on, 60. I'm gonna rename it and see if I can if okay, tell me if that says 30, 60, 90.
Yes.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Maybe they were named, I don't know. But there you go. Yeah. You guys got all of it?
Okay, now we got it. So now
Okay.
there's four different ones.
I don't think there should be. One of them should be the same, but there you go. You guys should have whatever it is, you should have everything, right? In fact, I'm going to share my screen so you guys know what you should have. How's that?
You
Okay.
need to scroll down and then it
Here's the
says 30,
30, 60,
page 2.
90. Oh, yes. So this has 2 pages, by the
Yeah.
way. This how to win, and then your 30, 60, 90 is on the second page. Maybe that's what it is. And then you should also have this. It has 2 pages, and it's your how to win plug and plays, correct? Did I
Yeah, what,
confuse? Maybe I confused. And then you should have this, how
Yes.
to win senior homeowners, and it's the 10 providers.
yes,
Yes.
we got
Okay,
that.
good. Okay, perfect.
We just didn't
Okay.
realize that the 30, 60, 90 was on page 2.
I didn't realize it either.
Yeah,
On
we
page-
missed that. But
Okay.
we've got a
Okay, good. So guys, any questions? Did I
I have a
explain? Are we
question. I have a
good? Yeah,
question that isn't on this exactly. Do we
sure.
know anything more about the senior placement
Mm.
CRM?
I did. I talked about it earlier.
Oh, sorry.
No, I did. I talked about it earlier and I said they are unable to what's the word he used? Able to oversee people and their accounts, so they're not sure how that would work. But I truly believe there is a workaround and a way to do it. I just know that it's something that I guess we'll have to figure out. Who here? Hold on, I'm gonna stop recording.